I was just like, what the actual fuck was that?
Most of her life has been what the F.
Hello and welcome to the Darkness and Dragonflies podcast.
Well, it's definitely not rainbows and butterflies.
Here we will discuss our terrifying encounters, trauma, and tea.
I mean, laugh, cry, curse, or scream.
I'm Stephanie,
I'm Martha,
your hosts.
and your favorite mother-daughter duo that's seen a lot of crap.
Shit. It's okay to say shit.
No crap.
Let's slap on that trigger warning and dive on in. Okay, so a lot of people's going to be asking, why did we start this podcast? And first and foremost, I'll just throw it out there. It's because our therapists kick us out.
Yeah, because we want to know what the heck happened to us.
Maybe the therapist didn't kick us out. We haven't tried that yet. We just assume that they will. And we don't like rejection.
No.
We'll just be like our own therapy session.
Yes.
Because that's going to work a lot better that way. Especially, I don't know if they could handle our dark humor and twisted stories. And it's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot, but it's all true.
But even if we sound crazy at the end of the day, it will be entertaining regardless. Yeah. You should stick around.
And every word's going to be true. We're not into fake stuff.
And we also got offered shows in the past.
Oh,
and we turned them down because they wanted us to either exaggerate the truth or manipulate the truth, and we don't do that. We've been through enough to know we don't have to. We've been through enough shit in our life to know that this stuff is very real. There's nothing that needs to be faked along the way.
We've had crap up to here, so.
And it's still rising.
I know.
But anyway, we need to invest in some waders.
We're going to show you that we're like a dragonfly. We can go through the darkness, come out into the light, and still be happy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And we hope to be kind of a light in the lives of others and just kind of work through life together with you guys. Because it'll be a twist of just like ghost stories, trauma, just life in general, and a lot of tea. So if you're into all that, stick around because it's going to be an emotional roller coaster, but you're not going to want to miss it.
We promise you that.
Okay, for today's topic, I'm just going to throw it out there. Okay. So, when I called you and I was chased, we're going back to that day.
Okay.
So this is where it kind of all began. And considering that this kind of put us down this huge rabbit hole of curiosity and where we're at now, the thing that got us into the actual paranormal itself was this particular day. And this happened back in 2009-ish.
Yeah.
Around 2009. I was out walking with some friends, and it was really late. It was after midnight, and we had just gotten hot and decided to take a nightly stroll. So we get outside, and it was a full moon that night. And everything was lit up. We didn't have to have flashlights or anything. And we were going to walk this mile loop that went around back to the property. So we go out to walk this property, and nothing had really been said along the lines of anything paranormal or scary or anything that would kind of get your edge up. We were just literally walking, and you kind of go around this bend and get into this straightaway. And that's when the two guys that I were with decided that they were going to kind of veer off and look at this barn that was to our left. And I don't know what it was. Like, I'm usually all for stuff like that. So they go to take this little stroll to the barn. And when they went to walk over there to the left where the barn was, all these birds started freaking out. And I don't know why, that kind of just caught me kind of off guard. And I was like, okay, that's strange. And something just told me, don't go over there. Well, right when I was kind of expressing my concern to them, because they thought I was just being a little bitch and scared to go over there, they're like, just come on, like, it's no big deal. And that's when one of the guys stopped, and he was looking like straight ahead, and he's like, what is that? And I was like, haha, really funny, and the other guy's looking too. So I look straight ahead, and we're like on a secondary highway. So they were just kind of looking straight ahead where the yellow lines were, and there was this really tall, really lanky shadow. And I just remember it's just really dominant on the lines. And I was trying to like make logic to it, like how I missed the shadow, like walking towards it. So I'm watching the shadow, and that's when the shadow on two distinctive legs walked from the double yellow lines to the white line and turned towards us. So I had a little bit more delayed reaction. The guys had already taken off running. Who's the bitch now? But anyway, they had already taken off running at this point, and at the time, I did kind of eventually follow because that was before my bravery kicked in full force like it is now. But we're all running, and I looked back a total of 3 times over my shoulder, and this thing was running at us, but not like any human, or it was on all fours, but it also wasn't like an animal. It was like if a human were to try to mimic running like an animal and coming at you on all fours, but it had no features, and it literally just vanished. About when it got just a few feet away and it could have reached out and grabbed us, it literally just vanished. So we went all the way back to the house, and that's when I called mom, and I was like, okay, so we just went down to this location and this is what happened. And I said, something chased us. And she literally is like, no, nothing chases my daughter.
So I've decided I'm going to go and see what is chasing my baby. So I have an 86-year-old friend that's been psychic all of her life. It was all four of this going down there. So Stephanie and I and Midgie and the two guys, we all load up and we go back down. And when we get out, the two guys grab each other and they're shaking from head to toe. And I think this is not good. You know, they're big chickens and we just got here. So we all hold hands and we walk down this stretch of road back to the barn. We're holding hands and Midgie says, there's one rule, nobody runs. If one of us get eaten, we all get eat. So nobody runs. So that's my Midgie, brave as can be. Okay, we're standing there and something from the darkness starts throwing sticks around my feet. They're bouncing all around my feet. And I'm scared. And I whispered, let's go back to the car. So we turn slowly. We're holding hands. We're walking back up toward the car. And I peek over my shoulder and I see this big black figure with big round red glowing eyes as big as apples, slowly following us up that stretch of road. So
it was lurking.
It was hanging back, but it was following us up the road. So we get near our car and it comes flying up the ditch on the left side of the car. And Midgie lets go of my hand and she goes over to the ditch and she says, hey, come here, I want to talk to you. And I go grab her hand and I say, you get your ASS in the car. ASS in the car before it gets you. And we get in and then we lock the doors and the lights was bouncing. Some kind of light was bouncing all over our car. But then we get the HE out of Dodge.
Hell.
And we get out of there.
Yep. For that time. There's many other returns to this location.
Many, yes.
Yeah. So we've got plenty of that to share if you guys are interested in this story. Like, it goes on forever. This is like the creation of our team, because it ended up getting to the point where we were just kind of talking about it and we decided to call in reinforcements, because this is before we were like into the paranormal and we're just kind of interested and didn't know what the hell had just happened. So we decide that we're going to call a paranormal team in to kind of discuss the situation, and they decide when we do so that they are going to come out, and they do. They kind of was our bridge to get to where we ended up, because they ended up not being as brave as we had hoped. Or maybe it was just what was happening down there, because there was a lot. I'll give them that much. We were also deemed the most ballsy women they had ever met, with one of them being a military man that almost jumped in our lap one time when he was down there. But after numerous visits with them, they just kind of got scared and quit coming back. So that's when we started obtaining all the equipment like that they had and started getting our own. And then that's how we build up to where we kind of are now with the whole paranormal situation. But they kind of were our bridge to get to Packed Paranormal, which it was formed About maybe a year or so after this. And that's when we kind of started doing our own thing and doing our own investigations and just kind of built up from there. But it's been a long journey. If you think back, I mean, just think back to everything we've seen. You start back here at the crossover.
Mm-hmm.
And from where we've built from, we went from being chased by a shadow figure, not knowing what the hell was going on, to living in a house with Satan himself. I mean, it's just a lot. We're going to have so much to cover on this. Like,
Oh yeah,
it,
at that point in time though, we had no idea what was coming.
oh no, no.
Oh no.
There was no way to have ever foreseen anything
No, no.
that happened after that.
Absolutely
Like,
terrified.
it makes this situation just seem like nothing.
Like, no, that was like baby steps. There was nothing.
It was just, I don't know. It's just weird that our journey started with something like that we thought was such a huge, huge impact on our lives. And it ended up being the complete opposite, to the point where we were physically attacked, emotionally attacked. Like, we even lost someone in the process. Um, it's a lot. And I look forward to sharing that with everybody. And, I'm just going to go ahead and throw that out there. Like, if you're interested in this story, and before we get into all of that on the podcast, we did write a book about that story, like from start to finish, which we will go over all the nooks and crannies of that book here on the podcast. But our book is called What Doesn't Kill You, and it's written by Martha and Stephanie Carpenter. You can find it anywhere books are sold. It's the audio books available, the physical version if you're more into reading it yourself. It's on Kindle, anything. You can just go on Amazon, type that in, and find it. But it kind of is a story from everything that happened inside the house, which I'm surprised we're even still here to tell them about that till this day.
I
If
know
you think back,
that's why we want you to know that no matter how dark it gets, you can come out on the other side and be in the light again and actually be happy again.
yeah, no matter.
And and besides just the paranormal, though, we want to talk about a lot of life's problems, and how to cope. And maybe we can help someone going through similar things that we've went through.
When we published the book, there was so many people reached out to us, like via social media and email and everything, after that book was published, saying I'm going through a similar or the same situation. And that broke my heart, and it surprised me how much this does happen. So we knew from that moment forward that we had to start sharing the story more.
Yeah.
We kind of just had to, I don't know, we had to go through a lot to be able to share it openly. And I know there's a lot of fear, like when you're sharing things like this, that people's going to think you're crazy or not believe you or whatever. That's what we're here for. Because no matter what you tell us, we're going to believe you, because we've been through some stuff that people didn't believe as well. It's hard for us to believe the things that we've been through, but boy, have we been through some stuff.
Most certainly. But we are so strong now. All that we went through made us super strong. We're not afraid of anything anymore. And we're just after evidence now. We want to prove it to all you unbelievers out there that the paranormal exists. But we also want to talk about everyday life problems also, and reach out
Oh yeah, we'll be
to
bringing up
help.
all kinds of
Yeah, we
things.
want to help you have some laughs. Like we said, we might cry some. Our mission is to help people. That's our big mission. And maybe along the way we can understand more of what happened to us and show you, the paranormal is real. So that's our mission.
It's very therapeutic to be able to talk to you guys about what happened to us. And then hopefully it'll be therapeutic for you guys to have somebody maybe to relate to just be like a safe space. We hope to be a safe space no
Mm-hmm.
matter what you've got coming. And it doesn't have to be paranormal related, any kind of life trauma. I mean, we've both dealt with domestic violence that'll be talked about on here, sexual assault, even suicide will be brought up because we've lost somebody to mental health. There will be like all topics. There's not going to be anything left behind. It'll be a lot of dark moments, which you'll see we have a lot of dark humor built up with that trauma. So it kind of makes it a little less heavy, per se. But I'm just so excited to be able to be that safe space for you guys. And you guys are kind of a safe space for us because
Oh, yeah.
we're able to talk to you guys about all of this, and we no longer fear judgment, and we're going to be that space where you don't have to fear judgment no matter what you come at us with. And eventually maybe we'll even share some of you guys' stories on here, bring you guys, some of you guys onto the show with us and talk to you guys about some of the things you've witnessed firsthand or experienced, and how you're coping. Like I said, we do a lot of dark humor to cope. A lot of people use therapy to cope. Some people use tequila. It don't matter. We don't judge here. So whatever you got to do, you just come to us and we've got your back.
We look forward to making a lot of new friends. Also, when Stephanie and I disagree, I don't like to really curse. I have, but I don't like to. So
My filter broke a long time ago.
she curses easy, but I don't.
Yeah,
so
that's okay.
we're going to disagree
That's
a little
okay.
bit sometimes, but
That's okay.
That's okay, and it's actually funny sometimes. So
I'll just have to get
it'll
your
be
filter
okay.
broken in.
No, I know. No, some words I don't say. So.
Yet.
No.
Or
Never.
you can just pause and just let me know, and I'll say it for you.
Yeah. Well, there's certain ones I'm not going to say, so it'll be okay.
That's bullshit.
No, it's not. There'll be people like me, people like you.
That's okay.
You just let it fly like easy, and I don't. And now sometimes I do say a few words. When I'm super duper mad, I say a few words.
It's okay.
Yeah.
You're forgiven.
I know. I hope so. But anyway, I'm not comfortable saying the F word. I'm just
That's
not.
my favorite word.
I know. That's not a good favorite word.
People made that happen for me.
I know.
Have you seen in my car? I have the little F-bomb that hangs
I know.
in my car.
Look what all I've been through, and I still don't say it. I just say F. That you still get the
Come to
point.
work with me. That'll change everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bonds lady. No
Yeah.
thanks. No
I
thank
do
you.
bail bonds and fugitive recovery, so that brings out the F-bomb a lot. A lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but we're looking forward to getting into everything. So since we're just on this topic and we're getting them kind of broken in to who we are and what we're doing,
Mm-hmm.
some of the things we've done, I think it'll be hilarious. I'm going to include that clip. Do you remember what happened back when we were testing some of the spirit communication devices?
Uh-huh.
And they sent us, I don't remember, I think it was Spirit Box when it first came out. They had sent us like a trial run or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a clip of this that I'll include in this segment. But we were discussing things to ask, and we decided the best thing to do was to ask if my father was present, because he kind of knew the spirit world, and since he was on the other side, he would be an easy person to get in touch with. So my mom literally is like, I'm looking for Steve. And this man just plainly on the other side is like, no, I don't know Steve. And she's like, oh, where are you at? And he's like, it's hot, bitch. So I had to put that clip in here because that was hilarious.
Looking for Steve? Where are you at?
Because the parts that's not filmed, no offense, Mom, but you're a really genuine soul, and you're really sweet and kind, even when you're being cussed at by a spiritual entity. So I wish I would have got this part, but afterwards she's like, oh no, I am so sorry.
Well, you know, somebody in hell, you know how pitiful that is.
I know,
it's so pitiful. I mean,
I guess
just imagine
he had a reason to be upset, but
yeah, but that's so sad.
He was calling the wrong person a bitch. So I'm just saying, you still took it like a champ.
I did, yes. That's the saddest thing.
But yeah, he was a little aggressive. But even to the aggressive spirit, she still keeps her kind demeanor. So that's good.
Oh yeah. But since all this stuff I went through, I am not afraid no more of anything.
No, we've been through a lot. You know, you think about it, we've lived with demons like both from the physical and spiritual realm, because I also classify my baby daddy as a demon. But that's another story.
Yeah, I still want to whip his ass, you know.
Ass, yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
he deserves it.
Yeah. He's
piece
probably
of crap.
Gonna get that. Yeah, we know that. He knows that. We all know that. It's a club. We've all joined. So something else I wanted to bring up too. I don't know about you, but I was really worried about filming our podcast first episode, because think of all the times of the things we've tried to do that just had a disaster
Falls
happen.
apart. Like, falls absolutely apart.
We were guests on someone else's show, and I mean, it was like one thing after another. They were like having to reschedule due to technical difficulties on numerous occasions, and finally, when we were going to sit down and actually film it, it was like in the midst of everything. Do you remember the butterfly that had like the upside down cross on his wings, and
kept landing on us? It was a white butterfly with a big black upside down cross, and it landed on me and landed on you. That was freaky. And then they never had problems till we sat down, and then
they said we've never had this happen before, and I was
then
like,
we had all this
great
technical stuff that went wrong.
Oh no, that's why I was kind of like going over checklists and everything.
So far, so good.
I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah, so far, so good.
If stuff just starts flying around the room or anything, we'll just keep filming. It's kind of like, remember when we were at the place in Georgia where we were at the old slave quarters and they had us film that documentary, and we scared the shit out of that lady because she's like going around filming us, and Mom turns around and they were like asking us questions and everything, and Mom's like, well, I don't care, even if something comes around, grabs us by the throat and holds us against the wall, you better keep filming. And they all just stopped and like started looking at each other and looking at us like, oh my God.
Yeah, we agreed a long time back that if one of us is filming and a spirit grabs one of us by the throat and holds us to the wall, that we're after evidence.
Keep filming. See that too, like one of us be pinned against the wall. Are you getting this? Are you getting
this? And we don't get afraid. We run to the action. We don't run away. When stuff starts happening, we want the evidence, so we run towards whatever's happening at the time.
It's only fitting though, because everybody else can.
Why be afraid?
They're hunting spirits,
but then they're terrified when something happens,
or ghost hunting or whatever, and
everything's
always came to us first.
Yeah.
So what does that make us?
If you're out there hunting evidence, why aren't you thrilled to death when something happens? We are. We want to prove to all of you. And you remember that radio show that we were on? We were tricked. The guy got us on there, and then we found out he was just wanting to debate us and prove that it wasn't real. And we ended up getting the best of him.
Yeah, we had a lot of good call-ins.
And then he blamed it on moonshine and cut us off just because we got the best of him. We wasn't drinking nothing. No, we don't drink.
No.
Well, I don't drink.
I will drink.
I know you can drink
at the time.
No, I was not. Nobody was drinking. Anyway, I've tasted of it, but I don't drink much.
I have a question though. Do you think they've decided which one of us is the bad influence yet?
Oh, I don't know. We got an angel and a bad, like bad ASS. That's what we got. Yeah,
be like the little angel and devil on your shoulders.
I know. But I believe in self-defense. I can get right with that. You better believe I can. I believe in self-defense.
My job kind of entails
a
lot of physical altercations.
Yeah, I love everyone, but I'm also ready to fight if I have to. So, or hunt down a ghost or a spirit.
So if somebody's like fighting you and cussing you out, are you going to still spell it out?
Huh? I'm not going to say nothing. I'm just going to do action.
Because what if I'm not there to like say it for you? Like you can't let somebody.
I have said a few, just certain ones I won't say.
Well, there's got to be certain aspects where you would say it. Because
you can call somebody a SOB and they got it. They know. They know what that means.
It has more of an effect though if you just say, "You son of a bitch," you know, like it's got a lot.
But you can say, "Why you SOB?" I mean, You need to clean your mouth up, Stephanie.
Carry your bar of soap.
Yeah, I will. What kind? Life Boy.
What is Life Boy?
You remember Life Boy?
No.
Yeah, they say it tastes bad. So that's what you mean.
Life Boy.
Yeah.
If it tastes bad and it's bad work, they don't go together. It's supposed to be. No.
Yeah, well. No, you can get the point across without being extra violent with your speech. You can get it across. I believe in just
violent per se.
You know what?
Okay, maybe I am.
You know what? I do agree with someone. There is a certain senator that I love what he says. I won't say his name, but I agree with him. I get up in the morning and I love Jesus and I'm going to follow Jesus. By 10 o'clock, I want to slap the H-E-double out of somebody, but I still love Jesus.
Well,
Don't you relate? Jesus
too.
Don't you relate?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that senator. He says it
but
like
it usually don't take till 10 o'clock in the morning.
No,
just depends what time I get
I'm
up.
just saying. I mean, that's the way life is it not?
It is.
Yeah.
People test you every day.
Life is rough. You got to be rougher. It's like a video game. You got to be constantly on guard and do what's right, but be ready for self-defense. Don't you agree?
I'm always ready.
Yep, I am too.
On a closing note, somebody asked, like, why dragonflies? And, I was going through the whole, like, oh, they represent, like, coming out of a dark time and empathy and grief and all of this. But then, there's...
And then I saw the funniest thing I ever saw in my life. I read, this is a true fact. It said the women dragonflies actually fake their own death so they don't have to sleep with the male dragonflies. Is that not hilarious? That's the funniest thing I ever
saw something seen. After you said that. Like the joke, it was like, oh God, there's Gary, act dead or something. And they had a dragonfly like falling over.
But that's true. They pretend they're dead so they don't have to sleep with the guys. Is that not funny? They're little geniuses. That's funny.
All right, so don't forget, if you're looking for our book, it's called What Doesn't Kill You by Martha and Stephanie Carpenter. You can find it on Amazon. We want to thank you guys so much for being here and sticking around with us and listening to what we had to say. We're so glad to have you. Don't forget to follow us on all social media. It's just at Dragonflies Pod. That's just spelled Dragonflies, DRAGONFLIES and POD. So Dragonflies Pod, and you can find us the same place on YouTube. Just don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and we will see you next Thursday.
And we love you guys, all of you listening, and we promise we'll get much better with all this. We got so many things to bring to you, talk about, and hope you feel better, and keep on laughing, guys. Keep on being strong. Thank you.
Don't forget, if you find a male you don't like,
pretend you're dead.
Pretend you're a dragonfly. Bye.